Welcome to our affordable rear-wheel drive sports car test presented by Continental Tire, where we're going to pit this Genesis Coupe against this Subaru BRZ. Our concept is pretty simple today, and that is to bring you two of the more popular and more affordable rear-wheel drive cars on the market. The BRZ is obviously a platform that we're very familiar with, and we see a ton of them at the racetrack. This is a 2016 model, but you can get a 2013 FRS or BRZ for pretty good money. Like, I would say 12 to 14 grand gets you a nice one, and we've seen them even cheaper than that. So they're definitely, I think, fair to call affordable now. And the Genesis Coupe is, I would say, maybe less popular amongst track enthusiasts, but we certainly see tons of them on the street modified, maybe a little bit too much camber, maybe a little too low. But this is a car that we have tried at the track in the distant past. This is a 2010, and you can get a 2010, I believe that's the first year for the 2-liter turbo motor, and you can get them for under 10 grand. I think maybe 8 grand is about, the entry price for a decent one. And obviously if you get a newer one, the price goes up from there. So, you could spend 10 grand on these, you could spend maybe 10 to 12 on one of those, so they're pretty close on price. These are both unmodified or close to it, so let's take a closer look at them both. We've made two very important modifications to both these cars, starting with a set of Continental ExtremeContactSport tires, both in a 255/35/18. This is a very good 340 treadwear summer tire that we've used a lot. You will have seen it in our previous track battles, and we found that it works extremely well at the racetrack. It really does take the heat here. And it's also obviously one of the best street tires that you can buy in its category. It's got big, stable shoulder blocks here that give you that instant turn-in response and lots of grip. But it's also got lots of siping on the inner 2/3 of the tire, so it's a very good rain tire. So as a street tire, I think it's very hard to beat, and it can take the heat at the track here too. So I should also mention that Greg, our buddy from Vibrant Performance, who owns this Subaru, has equipped it with these very nice Titan 7 wheels in an 18x9.5 plus 40 offset. Love the color combination, Greg. Good, well done, sir. As for brakes, we didn't want these guys to come here and nuke their street pads, so we contacted our friends at Hawk Performance, who sent us these new HP Plus pads. And I say new, HP Plus compound has been around forever, but this is actually a reformulated version, which they say is better able to handle the heat, produces less dust and less noise. So that all sounds pretty good to us, and we know from previous experience that they will take the heat here at the track for at least a handful of laps. If you need to go more extreme, they have race pads that can handle even more heat, but we find this is a good combination street/track pad. So we've put these on both cars so that we're not gonna have any scary moments in the brake zones. So let's jump over to the Genesis and take a closer look at it. I should mention the Subaru BRZ is completely unmodified other than the wheels, tires, and brakes that we just showed you. Over here on the Genesis Coupe, we have the exact same size 255/35/18 Continental ExtremeContactSports, and we're running a 18x9.5 Volk RE30 wheel. It does have a couple of small modifications. It's got an intake. It's got this sweet little button here on the front fender. It's got a little wing on the back, but that's about it. So it's basically a stock car with the exact same tires and same brake pads. So I think it's finally time to take these two for a rip, see which one's quicker, see which one Pete and I like more. All right, everybody, I'm in Anthony's Genesis Coupe here. Should mention Anthony is also from Vibrant Performance, so thank you guys for letting us use your cars for this affordable rear-wheel drive sports car battle. And as you can see, PT is leading the way here for what will be the first of our toge battles, lead-follow battles, basically. So I'm gonna chase him around for a lap, and we'll see if I'm able to keep up with him or if he pulls a gap, and then we'll switch positions and we'll see if he can hang with me or if I can pull a gap. And that'll be the first step in the process of evaluating which of these cars we think is the winner. And I should also mention that, as you can see inside, we've got some blueness happening. This used to be like an auto salon car, a show car, and it has an aftermarket blow-off valve, so you'll hear some noises coming from it that wouldn't happen in a factory car. Other than that, I got a loose shift knob here, so that's gonna make it exciting to shift. So once we roll around on the front straight here, I think PT's gonna let it rip, and I will do the same. Oh wow, it hangs the revs when you shift there. That's interesting. Down into turn 1, and we'll see if the Genesis Coupe has decent grip. Actually, it's not bad. It has a lot of body roll. The suspension feels old and a little on the soft side. I mean, this is a 8 or 9 year old car now, but it's hanging with the BRZ pretty well so far, I gotta say. The brakes are freshly bedded in HP Pluses here, as we mentioned, and I can smell them sort of adapting to their new life here. And this is a heavier car than the BRZ. This is probably, gosh, maybe 400 pounds heavier, but look at that. We are keeping up really well. I am surprised it's keeping up so well. Wow, it's really hanging revs when I shift. I'm not sure what that's about, but it does rev out to 7K, which I'd forgotten what a potent motor this 2-liter turbo is. It has a lot of torque. I can use a lower gear than I would be probably using in the BRZ there. So, but look at that. It kept up extremely well. Impressed, Genesis Coupe. I'm impressed. I did not expect it to be that good. I can remember from the press launch when this car first came out, and I felt like it had a lot of understeer, but this car doesn't feel that understeery.
Here we go. Let's see. You got a better run there on me. Let's see if I can grab him in the corner here. Oh, he's got a little bit of understeer. I saw that there. Oh man, these cars are so evenly matched in terms of speed. Reeling them in here, yeah. Got to be patient. Pushing hard there. I got him real good here. Oh, it's tough. I don't want to get too close, but I gotta say, we're doing okay. Oh, pulled away there a little bit. It's incredible though how well matched these cars are. Look at the brakes. I could catch them like crazy there. Very, very good. Now, I took a different line there. Look at this though. Wow, what a battle, people. These cars are both so good. Caught them there and onto the front straight, and I gotta say, wow, was that good.
Wow, man, I did not think it would be that well matched.
Yeah, me too.
I followed you and thought, oh, I got this one because you couldn't gap me.
Yeah.
But then when you followed me, I couldn't gap you.
I know.
It was weird.
They're more closely matched than I expected. Honestly, like I thought this car was going to be the slower of the two by a significant margin, and it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like this might be fast in a straight line, but having tested them in completely stock form, they understeer horribly.
Yeah.
And I thought this would do it too, but I forgot that we switched this to a square tire setup. So we have like equal size front and rear contact patches.
And it's helped tremendously.
Oh my God, it's like a whole new car.
Wow.
It does not understeer anymore. So it hung really well in the corners with what I think is maybe one of the best handling front or rear wheel drive cars on the market.
That's what I gotta say, very predictable. BRZ was awesome.
Yeah.
It was very neutral, it handled well. I was able to get on the power pretty quickly. It had a couple moments where it was starting to come around, but otherwise if you stay composed, man, great car. Man, as always.
I think part of the reason it was so even is that when I followed you, it was on the first lap and I hadn't heat soaked the motor yet. And then and then on the lead lap, the motor was getting warm and I felt like I was way down on power and suddenly I couldn't get away from you anymore. So maybe it's a turbo car, maybe it's a 200K turbo car thing, I don't know.
Maybe this is a perfect segue into our roll races. So if you could pull away in the first couple, the first race or two and then fall behind.
And then we see if that gap changes. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see.
So it is time for roll racing. And here we are, roll races. We do 3 of them. We line up, kind of put her into first gear, and we go from there. So this is going to be very interesting. I think the FRS the BRZ is going to have this, but it's hard to know because they're both equally matched. That car's a little bit heavier. It is turbocharged, so let's do this. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. Come on, baby. Oh, yeah. Wow, super close. Man, just by a nose there. And wow. All right, so my prediction was a little off. Oh, I'm pulling on him. Oh, I'm slipping the clutch, but I'm still pulling on him a little bit. It's close though. Roll race number 2 here. Let's see if we get a repeat of what happened before. So let's slow down here. DP's gonna get into first gear. And we ready? A little closer, DP. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I got just a little bit of lag there off the line. Yeah, there we go. Got him. Oh yeah, look at that. See, they're so close. It's really difficult to know. They're so evenly matched.
Oh, it's closer this time. Hey, look how much different it is just from one race. Wow, he pulled a little bit ahead of me there. Just from one roll race, this thing is down that much power.
And 1, 2, 3. Woo, baby! Wow, little chirp there. They're neck to neck. Look at them, they're neck to neck. Wow. That is very inconclusive. My goodness. Well, the conclusion is they're both 200 horsepower cars, and they're both a lot of fun. They're slow, but they are so evenly matched.
I got a bit of a better launch that time, but oh, we're neck and neck. Come on, Jenny. Come on, Jenny. Wow, that was neck and neck. He did pull maybe, you know, like just a nose ahead of me on that 3/4 shift. Probably because the gearbox in this thing is about as precise as a bag of laundry. I'm stirring a bowl of soup here.
Well,
it was neck and neck, wasn't it?
It was pretty close.
I think I took that first one pretty clearly. I pulled like a car length on you, maybe?
Maybe.
I like to exaggerate how much I would dominate these roll races by.
Maybe it was a half a car, if anything.
But I felt like
like a bumper to front bumper to rear bumper.
The old Jenny here, she had some torque on that first run.
Well, you know what it is. This car at unfortunately, we're starting these roll races so slow.
First gear, like barely rolling.
Gear, This thing at like 3,000 RPM has 0 torque.
Yeah.
So I can feel the lag. I've never felt that kind of lag in an NA engine before, but it's just because it has no torque.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get it off the line. I floor and I'm like, oh, there it is.
You're not in the sweet spot of the power
and that's why you were actually getting a bit of a jump.
A pretty good jump,
Wow, how is this happening? But
you would close after I got that jump, though. I think maybe just quicker shifts.
Shift, exactly.
Because this thing is terrible on the shifts.
Yeah, this thing is like nice and precise and tight. You can really bang it. Where I figured, this one, not so much. You really gotta.
And you've got a few thousand more RPM there too. Like I'm shifting at 65. You're shifting at like 7.1, something like that. So
I think the first one you took, and then the second one I think I took.
You nosed
and then
me
the third
out.
one, I think I was just a little bit ahead.
You might have, yeah.
You can see there's
super close.
There's not any real power advantage, which is surprising because I thought this thing may be a little bit quicker because
on power to weight ratio it's lighter, so this thing is overperforming on its rating, and I mean turbos deliver their power earlier, so anyway, good close battle there.
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed it.
And the Toge lead follow stuff was neck and neck too, so I guess it all comes down to the lap timer, everybody. And I did just do a 3-lap session in both cars, and the BRZ was as I expected it to be. It was really, really good.
It always is.
It feels light, it feels nimble, it changes direction so quickly. It did a best of a 124.5, which for a stock BRZ on just upgraded tires and pads is really, really good, because these cars typically stock lap in like the 127s. So really pleased with that. And the bigger, stickier tires doesn't change the car's nature in any way. It still rotates really easier on throttle. It does improve it. Yeah, you've added grip without changing the balance.
Exactly.
It's so well balanced. The Genesis, when pushed hard, did still have some understeer in it.
Okay.
But it was way better than it would be stock with this square setup. And you know, the lack of precision in the gearbox is a problem. The way it hangs revs when you shift.
Oh, that's super annoying, isn't it?
It's like, kind of makes you think, what have I done? Is the throttle stuck to the floor? Like, it does some weird things.
Yeah.
But it still was surprisingly good. For a car that's like 6 years older than this, it's got some rattles in it, some looseness in it, a lot of body roll.
Mileage of the bunch,
Yeah, but it still did a 126.3.
Okay.
So 1.7, 1.8 seconds, we'll call that, which isn't bad.
No.
I feel like this car has a lot of potential. Like, just making the changes we've made, to me, it's way more enjoyable at the track than it was when I tried one stock. And I think with like some minor cooling mods and a tighter suspension,
Yeah,
it would
and
be
like
really good.
the buy-in price is much lower than this car.
Yeah.
I'd say around anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000. So you've got options, right?
And you've got
in
a
that term.
choo-choo to play with there. You
Yeah,
could put on a
that's
turbo, you could tune it.
Granted, though, the support for these cars is getting there,
Yeah.
but it's still pretty small.
I don't know
all
that
things
market well
considered.
enough, but
I know Soulful Racing does a bunch of tuning on them. I know Tomei makes a turbo kit
Mm-hmm.
that you can bolt on and whatnot that really helps this motor come alive. So there are options out there, but it's not as big as something like this car or many of the other vehicles.
sure, I mean,
So,
this one has a huge
yeah,
aftermarket. So, I mean, I think at the end of the day, we got to say the BRZ takes the win.
I think so, yeah.
But I got to give a round of applause to Jenny here, who's an old girl, and she fought hard. She performed at a higher level than I expected.
Yeah.
So maybe you should go take her for a rip right now once the cameras are off, and we can talk privately.
She's a worn-out girl, so
yeah, maybe she can't take another lap or two.
No,
That's true.
I think so, but
I think we should say thank you very much for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this Continental battle. I know I did.
it was a good one.
So what's next, PT? What's coming down the pipe?
Well, I think what we're going to do is take the winner, the BRZ, and put it up against the next rear-wheel drive competitor.
Ooh, another
What
affordable
could that
rear drive
possibly
competitor.
be?
Stay tuned to find out. And yes, I did have the heat turned on there for a minute because I'm trying everything I can to cool her down. All right, here we go.